breath acts as a single point to bring our attention to. Life is so complex. We're not amoebas. We are complex beings that can think about the future and past with positive or negative emotion involved with that. So we have this massive capacity to understand and contemplate and whatnot. But that can get in the way if we don't balance that with just pure simplicity. So maybe another minute and a half. Feel your body.
Otto, I have a question.
Yes.
When we start, like I start yawning.
Good.
Is that okay? Is that part of the...
It's fantastic. Oh. And you literally, what you just said was something I was about to say, which was the wisdom of our body, right? Your body is telling you, I want to yawn. So the more we acquiesce to that, the more we just say, let me listen to that message that the body is sending. It's saying, you know, maybe you want to drop your head to the left or right, or just drop your chin down, or maybe you want to shrug your shoulders up and relax them. If you really listen to your body has so much information that we're usually cut off from. So yeah, Michelle, for sure. You want to
Thank you.
Yawn when you want to yawn. You want to, the beauty of being in your own space is that you can make sounds if you want, right? I'm muting everybody. So you're all muted. So if you want to yawn and go, make a funny sound, do it, right? It's not going to disrupt what we're going through. So my whole goal is not that you do exactly what I'm telling you to do. More, I'm giving you tools and more tools and more tools for you to tap into that wisdom of the body. This is the wisdom that the Taoists and the yogis spent so much time with and then systematized it. They said, oh, these are the practices that come from the wisdom of the body. Let's write them down. Let's organize them a little bit. But too often we lose touch with just the pure feed. There's like a live current feed coming, and each of us needs different things. So last moment here together, breathing. We're also developing our palate like a connoisseur of, let's say, wine, for instance, would develop a palate that could taste subtleties in that substance. So we're developing that now, tasting the subtleties of our experience, being able to sort of itemize, oh, that feels numb. Oh, that feels achy. Oh, that feels sort of sharp. And then we use that information to say, well, maybe I should move that, or maybe I should relax that, right? So we have to become this connoisseur of sensation for our own experience that we're having, and then we get to map our body and start to be able to utilize all that information. So important. So to help with that, let's go right into our self-massage. So hands together. Rub the hands. This starts to create physical friction and warmth, but it also connects like a conduit. The idea is that the heart, power of the heart comes out through the hands, the healing ability. So we're connecting that and waking that up. Rub the back of each hand. Back of each hand. All right, now your left hand onto the outer portion of the right arm. Go fingertips to wrist, wrist to elbow, elbow to shoulder, shoulder and upper shoulder. And once you get into the upper shoulder and back, bring your other hand behind the elbow so you can pull it across and rub your mid and upper back. And then straighten your right arm out again and just smooth all the way out. Now do that to the under portion. fingertips to wrist, reach up, wrist to elbow, reach up more, elbow to armpit. Then as you stay on the armpit, the lymph nodes here, drop the right hand behind. This gives you a tricep stretch, and then down the side of the body. And then reach that right hand back out and smooth all the way out. And we do that to the other side. Wrist to fingertips. Fingertips to elbow. Elbow to shoulder. Shoulder and upper shoulder and back. And then smooth it out. Underneath, fingertips to wrist. Wrist to elbow. Reach higher, elbow to armpit. Drop the hand behind, armpit and side body. So this is helping us map our body, helping us get a sort of diagnostic. Now we're back to here. Now just with the hand and wrist, grab and turn, turn, turn as you go up. Do that again. So you're loosening up tension in the spaces between the hand bones. The hands should be very articulate, but oftentimes people get frozen through these bones here, and then the fingers just move, and then these become strained, and you get arthritic pain and whatnot, carpal tunnel. Switch sides. So this suppleness, this idea that the body is this hydraulic water fluid energy system is so important for aging well, because if we let ourselves become this rigid body, all kinds of problems ensue. All right, so now this healing point here, press your thumb into it and just give it a light circle. Notice, let these fingers relax as you do it. So you're loosening up sort of the nexus point of the hand. And then do each finger. Grab the finger, pull, release, pull, release, pull, release, pull, release. We're just connecting everything to the body. We're letting every area know that we have love for it, attention to it. Get this inner muscle here on the thumb, and then the rest of the thumb all the way through. Switch hands. So you got that nexus point called the Lao Gun point. Then pinky, pull, release, ring, pull, release, middle, index. This little meat in between, this pocket, and then the whole outer thumb, then the meat on the inside, and the whole inner thumb. All right, rub the hands. Pause for a moment and feel that warmth between those two Lao Gun points, and then take that onto the neck and go up, up, up. We're encouraging this upward flow of life force through the central channel along the back. Then take one hand and hold it against the base of the skull, and use your other hand to rub the side of the neck, up behind the ear, down to the little crook of the neck, and then onto the C7 vertebra, and then switch. Side and down. Then use your thumbs right into that little nook of the skull, so you're not bound up there. You feel that your skull is sitting on top of the spine and can move right at that joint. That's a very important one that is often frozen up for folks. And then use your fingers through the scalp, through the scalp, through the scalp. Then we clear the forehead. Use your hands like paddles and just spread that space. Open. One more. Spread that space. Then bridge of nose, cheekbones up and over. Bridge of nose, cheekbones up and over. Bridge of nose, cheekbones up and over. Ears. Cup the ear, press the ear into the side of your head and squish it, and then come up and under. Do it again. So you get this circular flow on each ear. Roots of the ear, index finger behind, middle finger in front, up and down. scissor cut ears. So it's like cutting and circling. Get the whole ear. The jaw, the muscles of the jaw drag like a little tiger claw, drag down while you say jaw all the way down. Again, jaw down. Lung point 1 and 2. Left hand over to this little, you feel your collarbone, so feel it, drop just below it. Your right arm, take it and turn it like so and bring it a little bit in front so that you create this little divot and then circle rub. It's called row in Chinese massage. Row, 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 row. Then heart point 1 on the outside of the rib. Row, 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 row. And then under the chest, up the middle, onto the shoulder, and then like a tube of toothpaste, squeeze the arm, the lymph draining all the way to fingertips. Other side. Lung point 1 and 2. Drop that arm over. Row, row, row. Heart point. Row, row. Under. Up. Squeeze. Lymph, 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 lymph. And release. Rub. Sternum. One hand. Other hand stacked. So it's one unit, up, down, up, down. The whole range. Then when you're up, separate down the side ribs, across in front, and back up. So now you're circling around each lung and coming up through the heart. Switch directions. It's called rotate sun and moon. Then here you come down and you're right on your solar plexus, circle. Switch hands, circle. And then liver and spleen. Around to the kidneys. Lumbar, spine, up and down. Emphasize up, up, up. Sacrum, tailbone. Come around the belly. Now you're kind of middle level in the belly, lower liver and spleen, pancreas and gallbladder. Then stack your hands in the middle, stomach, the actual stomach itself. And then below, the intestines. So now you're at the height of the belly button. Intestines, back and forth. Then pubic area, right? So the muscles there and into the groin. This is called the inguinal region, where there's a lot of lymph nodes. We got to keep this area moving and through. Then inner thighs, fronts of thighs, outer thighs, back of thighs, knees, outer knees, front knees, inner knees. Now we fold and get lower shin, calf area. Then you get to your ankles. You notice the ankles have front nook, front outer, back outer, then inner. And then you're at your feet. Hands go around the feet to the inner, come up the inseam of your legs all the way to the groin area, and then around and go down the back. Twice more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And we're up. 3 breaths right here, just sitting. Hold. When it feels appropriate, slow, smooth exhale, then empty, sort of squeeze the breath out. Hold the breath empty. Wait for it. Then inhale. Holding the breath full, waiting, not rushing. Then exhale like it's leaking out of a balloon, and then squeeze it out. Hold it empty. Then let the breath in. Pull the breath in. Hold the breath in. Wait for it. And then let the breath out. Push the breath out. Hold the breath out. Let the breath in. Pull the breath in. Hold it. Let's do 2 more like that. So it's passive into active, right? It's passive exhale, letting it out. And then it's active exhale, pushing it out. Holding it out. And then it's passive inhale, letting it in. Pulling it in. And eventually you want that to just be a smooth transition. So now on your next exhale, round the back. Slide the hands a little forward. Empty the breath. Drop the head a bit. Open the back channel. Hold the breath empty. When it's time to start your inhale, begin to move away from the rounding towards the neutral. Keep inhaling and go further, arching the back. Pull the elbows back. Lift the chin. Look up to the sky. Hold that breath in. 2 more like that. Exhale. Keep exhaling, finishing the rounding. Holding it. Inhale when you're ready. All 24 vertebrae, the pelvis is moving, the shoulder blades, the skull, everything is unlocking from its stagnant, barnacled adhesion stage. The nervous system just loves this. It just feels so taken care of when we go at this lovely pace, but we're thorough. Be very thorough. Now settle back to the middle, neutral. Ideally, your neutral will feel like something you do not have to hold on to, but it's something you have no effort there. 0. Then the twist. Left hand to right knee, right hand to right buttock. Turn first the lower spine, middle spine, upper and neck and head. Get a little twist in there. Hold it for a bit. When you inhale next, you turn back to center. Exhale, turn when you're ready. So along with the physical musculoskeletal benefits, we're also creating this really important organ massage by playing with the different spaces within, right? So when you're twisting, you're compressing a certain space. So your kidneys are getting a little bit of a compression on one side, your liver or spleen on the front side. And our organs behave in a way, they're like sponges. They really need this this compression and relaxation. This is very healthy for them. And we're back to center. Drop the arms alongside you. Right arm getting heavier, left hand getting very light. Leaning like you're dripping water out of your right ear. Maybe even let that left hand keep going, going, going. Reaching. Now you can even actively reach up and down, extending. Oh, and then just relax the effort and droop your way back to center. And then the other way we go. Drooping, 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 leaning, letting go of all that adhesion and barnacles and grabbing on that we're doing. And then just release. Let's do 1 more each way. See if you can execute the movement with nothing but ease. So that's where you start to tap into this anti-gravity feeling, this levitation feeling, this floating. Because when we relax, we're using hydraulics, we're using fluid. We don't have to firm everything up in order to execute a movement. In fact, that gets in the way. And we're back to neutral. Right arm only, right shoulder blade. Up, down. Left side. Up, down. 1 more of single. Single. And double. Rise. And release down. Make sure everyone's muted. Do that again. Double, shoulder blade lift. And back down. All right, now bring your legs close to each other so you have a little extra room on the side here. Right arm is gonna go forward, but notice it's the shoulder blade that moves forward. It's called protraction. Then elevate, so you lift and go back. That's known as retraction. And then melt the shoulder blade down to totally released and hanging, neutral. Forward, up, back, down. Forward, up, back, down. Again, forward, up, back, down. Notice how if you do it right, the arm feels a little bit like a tail following along. Do the other direction. Back, up, forward, down. Same idea. The arm is like a tail following the movement. So again, you have to get out of the way in order to execute that. A lot of us have tension that's hard to just drop like that. So these movements also help with that. Other side. Forward, up, back, down. Each shoulder blade is attached to our body with something like 9 different muscles and all these different angles and directions. So, and it's connected to the head and neck. It's connected to the mid-back spine. It's connected to the arm. So it can be the main cause of a lot of problems when the shoulder blade becomes glued on and there's a bunch of barnacles. Go ahead, switch directions so you're rolling it forward now. So I would wager that some of you are, if not all of you, are feeling like, ooh, there's some gunk in there that needs attending to. All right, we're back to neutral, both. So we fold a little bit. The arms swing a little forward as we protract. Then we elevate and retract and lean a little bit back and release down as we come forward. So now we're starting to wheel the body a little bit. We're getting this wheel, this circle, this movement of how the spine and shoulders and arms, everything works together in a sort of fluid-like way. Switching directions, we're going back, up and over, and down. Back and up and over, down. 2 more. Just cleaning out, using the power of water to wash away that which is in our way. All right, back to neutral. Left hand on right knee. We lean over sort of like we did earlier, so this arm can hang out of the joint and then start to draw a small circle on the ground. So now it's not the shoulder blade that's moving, it's the arm bone in the socket. Circling, circling, keep it relaxed as you get bigger and bigger circles. Some of you might feel like, oh, I could sit up straight and draw this circle. And notice my hand will go a little bit above, but I'm not forcing my arm vertical at all. I'm just feeling from this joint, this ability to circle, right? And then let it hang and shake. And then we do inward circles. So you're circling now in the other direction. Make sure the circle's coming from the socket, the shoulder socket, not the elbow. The elbow is just along for the ride. And then you might sit up and do this sort of forward circle. And a key piece here is that every time it goes down, you let it go completely. Comes up and over and around, but you got to let it go completely every time. Every time. Just let it go. Let it go. Get out of the way. And then hang and leave it there. Switch sides. Right hand on left knee. Dip it down into that water there and draw that circle from the shoulder socket. Bigger and bigger as you go. And then maybe you sit up and make that circle just an open, unhindered movement. Hydraulic, water. No tension needed. Zero. Zero. And then let it hang and swing a little bit. And then inward circle. So really what we're doing is we're decompartmentalizing our fluid body. So once you've done the ones down, maybe you do the ones sitting up. So it's along the side of the body. But we're just opening all compartments so the water can flow unhindered. And let the arm hang. Good. All right. Now fold at the elbows. Folding and add some compression. So it's like you're cutting off the flow of a hose and then you relax that cutoff feeling, and then drop the hands, let them hang, and then get this little bounciness. Notice how it's just bounce, bounce, bounce. See how high I'm able to just bounce mine? Easy. Do that again. Fold. So we do it wrong for a moment. Compress, like put too much energy there, and if you just did that for too long, it wouldn't be good for your elbow, but then let it go. And feel that flow right through. Drop the hands, keeping that bounciness, and get this sort of bounce, bounce, bounce. And then float the arms up. Turn palms down and up. Notice that I am not turning this portion of my arm at this point. I'm just working on forearm. The hands are going along for the ride. The fingers going along for the ride. Palms face up, in, out. Now it's just wrists. Fingers go along for the ride. Then we go in, down, through, out, spin, spin. So the first couple, do it slow enough so you feel it, and then just see if you can get all tension out and just do it with only that soft fluid. And then hold out. Turn the palms out, drop, come in, up, and out like an offering, and then spin. Out, spin, through and up. And then can you, and then flow it so you're almost spinning wheels. And down. Hands float up, palms face up. So very small and subtle. And then maybe you speed it up. Then you get all the fingers moving. The hands, feel that openness in the palm and the back of the hand. And then release. Hands up, spread, and notice where my elbows are. Add a chest lift and a pull back of your elbows. Then let the hands come up slightly and forward, tiger claw into a fist, turning, wrapping, pressing inner forearms and hands together, and pull elbows down and round. Release that and open like a flower blooming. So this is this opening, opening, opening. Keep opening, palms face up. Big old breath in, pull elbows back. Exhaling as you close. Again, think of how a flower does it in that like time-lapse video. Time-lapse, closing, 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 holding, closed. And then same thing, how it opens in a time-lapse way, slowly, but consistently. All the way open, ideally with a big old inhale where you hold, and then exhale, close, close. Let's do one more after this one. And open. Holding that breath in, just feeling all that wonderful clarity, light, and exhale, close one final time. And then this time when we open, just open halfway, so we're back to neutral, and the hands float down. Sit closer to the back of your chair. So scoot your butt back on your chair so you can sort of rest back there a little bit. Then take your hands up into Tai Chi fists like a boxer, and you're going to chamber one leg. So chambering means lift the thigh at the hip joint, but also pull the heel towards the buttock like you're loading a spring, and then set that down. Other side, load the spring. Load, release. Again, load, release. Load, release. Now load and express. Load that energy, express it out through the heel like a martial art kick. Reload, down. Load, unload out through the heel like a kick. Reload, down. Two more each side. Notice how you're a little bit more on one buttock. If we were to do this standing, it'd be like that Tai Chi thing of shift your weight and then load, unload. And then you set it down empty and shift to free up that other leg. Now hold this one out. Point, flex, point, flex. Feel how it not only works the toes and feet and ankle, but you can even feel it pulling on the shin and calf. You can feel it pulling and cleaning out tissue all the way up through the leg. Now hold and flex and go a little in and out. That's called evert, invert. Inward circles. In, point, out, flex. In, point, out, flex. Circles. Smooth. Other way. Out, point, in, flex. Back to center. Reload that chamber and switch. Chamber, push. Point, flex. All the way through the tips of your toes, too. Eventually, you want to even clench toes, spread toes. Clench toes, spread toes. Evert, invert. Inward circles. Outward circles. Back to center, reload, set it down, and then scoot to the front of your chair again, all the way to the front. Swivel steps, left foot, lift ball of foot, turn on the heel, externally rotate that leg. Notice how the knee went along for the ride. Lift the heel, internally rotate. Notice the knee went along for the ride. Lift ball of foot, externally rotate, knee goes along for the ride. Lift heel, internally rotate, knee goes along for the ride. Final time, hold open. Now use your left hand to hold this left knee open and right knee, and give yourself a little extra opening there, and then rub that inner thigh. Knee, and then let's reverse. Knee goes along for the ride, internal, lift heel, external, lift toe, internal, lift heel, external, lift toe, neutral. Other side. Lift ball of foot, open, lift heel, knee goes along for the ride. Lift toe, knee goes along. Lift heel, knee goes along. Final time, open. Now again, press that knee open and also press this other one open so you're adding to your range through that band. And then inner thigh. Knee. Walk it in. Internal, external. Internal, external, neutral. Fold at hips. Hinge. And then round and hang and dangle. Stay rounded as you come up to sitting up straight. Leaning even a little bit back as you tip hips forward. Now you're in a gentle back bend as you go forward and down. Shaking loose the heavenly pillar. Hips back. And feel all 25 vertebrae moving. Gently but consistently and thoroughly. Get out of the way. Don't hold on to the tension in your body. Trust that you have an integrity, a fluid and energetic integrity. That is what holds babies up. When you see babies and how, of course not a newborn baby, they can't stand, but even when they're just starting to get it, they have this lovely suppleness and integrity to their frame. And so we're trying to revisit that. And we're back to neutral. Now, step your feet out wide as feels comfortable. Hands come to inner thighs, fingers on the inside. Bow forward. Now, just watch what I do here. I'm turning my rib cage and my head, and I'm getting a little bit of a sort of ringing out here, a little bit of a twist. And I'm using this pushing. I'm pushing through my right hand to help send me into a deeper little twist. And then coming back to center and doing to the other side. So go ahead on your own and don't force it at the neck. A lot of times that's what we'll do. We'll you see what I'm doing, and then we turn the neck really hard. The neck happens like a cherry on top. So it's mostly rib cage and shoulder, pushing through the hands in a way that deepens the twist, and then maybe a little cherry on top with the neck. And then back to center. Let's do one more to each side. So we're just turning, opening up a pathway And again, the other way when you're ready. So that move right there is good on its own, but it's also the transition for the dragon stirring the sea. So sit back up, hands stay where they are, feet wide, turn slightly right and bow towards the right knee. Then sweep through as you stir the sea with your tail and come all the way up and back. And then again, stir the sea. So 3 in each direction. Way back. Just unlocking these compartmentalized spaces so we can have what they say in Chinese, the ET, one earth, one body. Go the other way. Oh, all the way around. Thorough, fluid, soft, ease. But again, with that thoroughness, that creates a sort of energy building body. Now we're back to neutral. Walk the legs back together, take a moment, 3 breaths, make them those good ones. Couple more. Bring your feet back a little behind your knees, relax your arms, folding, efforting a bit forward, and then push through the earth, rise. Repeat that. Butt goes back, then the knees bend. You're down. So the initial gesture to stand up is folding forward, then down. Folding, then down. Now like water, 3 of them just like water. Let go of all tension and see if you can just flow. Just flow. Can you flow down? Just flow. 2 more. Easy. Now 3 where you don't sit in your chair, but you get right above it. And every time you come up, the hips come forward enough to really get you to align. And then down. Just remember, use hydraulics to execute it. Hydraulics and form. On this last one, hold it for 5 breaths. Hold the squat. Isometric. The body has to contract to keep you in the position even though we're not moving anywhere. That builds a charge. Our bones are dipoles. They're like electric batteries that charge, keep charging. And then we come up and totally relax all that contraction, and then it circulates through the body. Now we're standing, comfortable distance in your feet, relaxed, knees just a little bit bent. Notice this idea that if you're locking and sticking your butt out, you're compressing that low back. So by gently bending the knees, letting the tail sink, we're opening that, and we're letting the chi, the soft suppleness, be what holds us up instead of a bunch of grips, right? Now, rising hands forward and up, wrists totally relaxed. And then hands sink down as if painting. Add to this just a little bit of rocking forward so you get this fluid rise. And then this little bit of sink and rocking back. Hands go even a little behind the body. Twice more. Rising. Sinking. Now as you come down, low cradle. Whenever I say low cradle, I mean making that little circle at the bottom. It doesn't mean this, and it doesn't mean this. It's right in between this little cradle. So you make a nice little circle. Now out and up as you rise. And then sink shoulder blades, arm bones, elbows, wrists, fingertips. Now when you go up, can you keep this roundness? Roundness, even up to here. You can let your shoulders create this kind of silly looking thing here. But then as you sink shoulders, the arms roll through. And there's this beautiful crane-like shape that's made. Two more. And a crane, so if you think of a sparrow is a small bird, and they sort of like flap their wings like this. Cranes and large birds have their chest muscles involved with their wings, and they can fly these long distances because they're just the power of their wings. And it's such a beautiful visual to just take your wings way out and get that freedom to the shoulder and chest. And then the power there. Now scooping and coming up through the middle, and then rolling as you go out to that open wing position, and then down. Scoop and rise up, sort of like breaststroke swimming. And out. This one, along with other benefits, it gives us our spirals. We're spiraling in, and then spiraling as we go out. One more. This is actually external rotation of the arms, even though it feels internal. And then as we go out, this is actually internal rotation of the arms, right? Now, sweep the wings, turn the palms up and fold just at the elbows, and the hands come together like they're holding an energy ball, and then fall straight down to that rested position. And we go again. Crane, roll and fold, and down. Now, can you execute it with only fluid? You're bypassing your joints. So it almost feels like you don't have joints in a way. It can start to feel like you're just this water-based fluid being, and you're not jamming any joints. You're not forcing any joint too much. One more. So now we're just experiencing the spirals and circles here. Now, crane wing again. Left arm sweeps under like it's that crane wing. Right arm over top like we were just doing. Hold the ball. Reverse it all. Right arm out, left arm out, floating. And roll it right through. Sinking as you come together. Rising as you float everything out and reach that extension. And then sinking as you bring everything together. One more. And finally out to the wings. And settle. Everything relaxed and clear. The idea of emptying out the chest and shoulders. Shift over towards your left leg and let that knee just slightly bend. Hit the bullseye of the ball of the foot. Then shift over to that right leg. Let the weight go through. You might even feel your other leg empty at the hip. You could give it a little shake. Then over the other leg, let that whole body weight go through. The other leg becomes empty and free. Shift. Teacup, resting perfectly. Right? One more. Now, shift, turn the pubic bone to point that way, belly button to point that way. And then shift to the right with everything pointing that way, and then turn. Keep it turned the other way, shift. Because we're not dead, because we have life force now circulating through the body, the hands are floating in space. They're not just like stiffly next to our body or limp and dead. They're alive. So they start to do this playing with the space here, playing with the bare paws in the lake, shift and turn. But again, it's not letting the arms and a bunch of tension take over to make it look a particular way. It's about everything soft, Everything just so soft. And we're just moving from the center. We're basically sort of swimming in our own fluids. All right, last one we come across. Right hand behind the back. Now, we just play in the water with the left hand only. Think of it like a tail, just swishing through and it goes out. And then I'm shifting and turning, and that's pulling the hand through. One more. Shift, swish it through the water. Now, crane wing, just like we did. Roll and fold, just like we did. And then shift, turn, let it extend into a push, and it drops down into the water again. We shift, turn, brush knee, crane wing, roll and fold, shift, turn, push. Down into the water, shift, turn, brush. Get out of the way of the joints, let the circles and wheels take over. Now as the left hand comes down, bring right hand out, standing bear across. Put the left hand behind your back, just play in the water once more. Brush knee, sweep the leg. Now brush knee and push, don't rush, just brush, crane wing, get out of the way, roll those joints, and then push. Circles, spirals, fluid. And the beautiful thing is not only is it easier to move this way, but it actually is regenerative to our joints. It's regenerative to the nervous system as well, because we're in a calm state. We're in that parasympathetic state, as opposed to like a boot camp, which has another sort of value, right? It's got that cardio, it's got that power. But this is about soothing, healing, washing the nerves, washing the meridians, the subtle level of the system. Now, bring that left hand out. Now we bring right hand up, left hand stays down. We're going shift, turn, brush, and push. Let that move through. Shift, turn, brush, push. Let it go through. Shift, turn through the tips of the fingers and just circles around. Shift, turn through. Shift, turn through. Now, left hand comes up, right hand comes down. Empty right foot. Step a little behind you, toes turned out. Sit into that leg like it's a springy chair and empty your left foot and touch the toes out in front on the floor. Just touch them out in front. Then see if you can lift and lower, do it slowly. But if you do it and you tip to do it, that means you still have weight here. So can you let the weight go through your back leg just that little bit more so that this becomes truly empty? And you can go up, down, maybe it's just a millimeter, right? And then let's switch. So you step back, toes turned out. As you shift and switch, left hand down, right hand up. And step that foot out, take a moment, put the weight through that back leg, and then check. Is it truly empty? Can you lift and lower? Switch again. This time switch, create that emptiness, and then see if maybe chamber. Maybe. If you can chamber and hold, you're doing golden rooster, stands on one leg in its full form. If you're down here or here, you're just doing level 1 and 2. Switch. Shift. As this left leg fills, the right leg empties, maybe someday you can just raise it. Let's flow through a couple. Set it down empty. Shift. Feel it fill, 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 fill. As this one empties, that's the impetus, like a scale rising. Setting it down empty is key so that you can feel, okay, now I'm changing which is full, which is empty. And then that empty quality is what raises it towards a sort of chamber position. One more of each. Change. You're sitting to rise. Rather than pulling everything up, you're actually sinking to rise this. Set it down empty. Shift and then sink. And down. Find parallel feet. Tai Chi stance. Just do a little bounce, bounce to get all that tension out. A little gentle bounce, bounce. Standing bear. Now, put right hand behind your back, left hand, sweep the lake, brush the knee. Now, sweep the lake and turn it into vapor. Sweep lake, vapor up, shift and turn, cloud. Cloud, rain, fill up lake, shift, turn lake, vapor. Shift, turn, cloud, rain. Shift, turn, lake, vapor, cloud. And down. As you come across, bring that right hand out. Bear play with water. Wrap hands and then just sweep once. Now we come across lake, vapor up into a cloud. Shift and turn, cloud, lake, rain. And then fill up lake, vapor. So relaxed at that joint that we used our crane movements and whatnot to open. Really feel this sort of in the chest. Shoulder blade area is just open and spacious, and it just drops. Now, as right hand rises as a cloud, left hand is in the lake. Shift, turn. Rain and vapor. Shift, turn, cloud, lake. Rain and vapor. Notice anywhere you got a barnacle in the way, and see if you could just ask gently to soften. Soften. Softening out of the way. Finding a center, a place that they say it's 2.5 inches behind the navel. This center that when we relax, we can operate the whole body from. Last one. Right hand comes down. Standing bear. Standing bear. Sink cheetah belly. Crane wing. Roll and fold. Hands wash down and invite and guide the energy right to that spot 2.5 inches behind the navel. Take a moment of stillness and then relax the hands down. Move to the right side of your space safely so you have a little bit of room to your left. Sink through the open legs, shift your weight through that right leg, left leg is empty. Notice you can sidestep. Shift. Your weight's going now through the left leg, right foot empty, step it in, empty. Shift. Left leg becomes empty because you let the weight go through. Step it out, empty. Notice I didn't go, right? I stayed over here, but stepped out. Shift. Now I'm over here, and I stay over here. I don't go boom into that leg. It's just in like a feather. And then same thing, I'm changing the weight. When this is empty, it's just comfortable step. Shift. Comfortable step. Shift. Relaxed. Nothing held. There's no need. Doesn't help. So in some way it feels like we're protecting ourselves, but it's really eventually just in the way. It's just in the way. Switch direction, stepping in and then back out. Just easy. Hydraulic, water. Softness. We're so relaxed, ideally, that we're not top heavy. We don't feel this teeter-tottering upper portion. Instead, we're just this open fluid system. Now, as we shift, bring right hand behind your back. Left hand sweeps the leg, turn and bring it up to vapor, into a cloud. Step in, step out. Shift and turn, cloud. As it rains, step right foot in, empty. Shift and turn, lake. As it vapors up, step left foot out, empty. Shift and turn, cloud. As you rain, step in. Shift and turn, lake. As you vapor, step left foot out. Shift and turn, cloud. Step right foot in, rain. Shift and turn, lake. Step left foot out, vapor. Last one this way. As we come across, bring right hand out, bring it through the lake. Take left hand behind your back, step in, step out. Right hand is a cloud. Shift and turn, cloud. As it rains, step in. Shift and turn, lake. As it vapors, step out. Shift, turn, cloud. Step in, rain. Shift, turn, lake. Vapor, step out. Now, as you come across, bring left hand out. It sweeps the lake. Then vapor and rain. Step in, step out. And we're ready to go back the other way. Shift, turn, cloud, lake. As you vapor and rain, step in. Shift, turn, cloud, lake. As you vapor and rain, step out. Shift, turn, cloud, lake. As you vapor rain, that right empty foot just steps in, stays empty, so that you have somewhere to shift and turn to keep that flow going. Stay in the right leg as you step the left leg. Vapor rain. One more full round this way. Vapor rain, step in. Shift, turn, cloud, leg. Stepping out as you vapor and rain. Now we're going to switch and go the other way. So we come through. The hands do the same thing. We step in and step back out and head back the other way. Shift, turn, cloud, lake. Vapor rain, step in. Shift, turn, cloud, lake. Once you get the choreography, then you can work on the poetry. Drop all tension. All movement coming from that dantian, that belly. Ease. Open all compartments. Find the stillness at the center, even as you execute the movement. Last one this way. Stepping in, stepping out. Drop that left hand, keep right hand down. We standing bear, sink cheetah belly. Guiding our mind, our attention, our listening, our gaze to that point 2.5 inches behind the belly button, the main energy, raw power capacitor. And then release your hands down. From your Tai Chi stance, shift your weight into your right leg. Turn left foot out just 5, 10, maybe 15 degrees. Shift over into it and step your right foot forward a little bit. Doesn't have to be much, but what you don't want to do is let it come across this way. So keep width and then come forward. Now, shift into your front leg. Turn your hips to point forward. Notice if the knee's taking any pain, lift the ball of the foot and adjust your back foot so that you can be in this stance and be happy. And then if I turn sideways, you can see I'm sat through it, right? Not way out here with my butt back or sitting back like this. It's just comfortable. Just find natural right in the middle. Now, 70% forward, 30% in the back, and then shift back 100 to sit through that back leg. This should be empty if in an ideal world. Then forward 70, back 100. Now, as you come back, bring the hands up in front like you just invited something towards you. Turn the palms forward-ish. So we're not forcing them forward, forward-ish. There's still a roundness here. Shift forward, and as you shift forward, let that wave go through the fingertips. Then turn the palms around. As you sit back, the hands are drawing, guiding, bringing back, and then they arrive. And then from the depths of the ocean, shift and let it go through to the tips of the fingers like a wave. Then like a wave, it draws back from the depths of the ocean and the hands come back. Again, shift and shift and so it's got this little delay. This washing. washing. One more. Now we switch by bringing this empty front foot back, toes turned slightly out, stand up straight. Drop everything out. Shift through the right leg, step the left foot out, bring the hands up forward-ish. Shift and push. And then sit back, draw. See if you can get out of the way. Get out of your own way with tension and just see if you can let that flotation, that suppleness, that softness be the only thing you're using. The idea is you take the work off of the li, quote unquote, L-I, li, which is tension strength that a lot of people are using. A lot of people are in the gym right now just developing li. But if you soften the li and put the work on the chi, the supple, then that builds. And then as that builds, it really builds. Then you can execute all movements without any of that wear and tear and that tension and that constriction. Now, let's switch each time. Shift forward and push. Shift back, step back, toes turned out, stand up and drop everything out of the system. Totally empty, everything out. Then sink through the left leg, hands raised and step. Shift and push, get all the way to the tips of the fingers. Sit back and receive. Step back and then just drop everything out. Nothing, hold nothing, nothing at all. Then very efficient, sink through right leg, hands raised, step, all in one moment. Shift and push, it goes through the fingertips. Sit back, receive, and once that foot is empty, step. Drop it all out. Let's flow 3 more to each side, then we'll be done. At no point do you lose your center, your still point in the middle. There is a stillness embedded in the movements. Stillness. We're moving, but we're still. We're still, but we're moving. And it's that magic place where we're doing both, that the yin and the yang and the pivot point in the middle are all engaging, interacting in that really magical way. One more each. And you notice how easy it is to get caught in the doing. Notice how easy I'm noticing in folks that you have to remind yourself, oh yeah, stop. Right? All right, and then our final thing here, crane wing. Shift a little forward into the balls of the feet, the hands sweep and circle out. Shift back towards the heels as you drink in through the mouth, guide it down to that navel. Point your fingers down, stick your booty out like a squat, sit, but round the back and open all the channels of your spine. Push through the floor, rise up, stack, 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 stack. Again. Crane wing, rock slightly forward, that sends the fluid arms and hands out and around in a gather. Rock back slightly, drink to the mouth, down the central channel to the belly. Point the fingers down, stick your tushy out, and as you sit the tush, round the back, release the arms, hanging, open the back. Then keep it open as you stand up. It's called sinking chi. To wash organs. So we invite. We don't grab and pull, we invite in. And we train it to say, here's your home. And then we also say, but we want to be able to go through hips, knees, ankles, feet, all the way. 2 more. Just wash the body. Final time, you crane wing, roll and fold, and settle all that life force that you let out to play back to its home for a moment. And then you tell yourself, we're done with the practice by sealing. 1, 2. A couple moments here, letting that which you've stored circulate back to the brain and through, so that central channel known as the chongmai, or the thrusting vessel, which is quick and fast connection between upper brain and gut brain. That channel we want open, wide open. And then we close with the Taoist bow. Grab one thumb with your fist and fold the fingers over the top. Makes like a little yin-yang symbol there. So hold there and thank you all, like bow. All right, so if you guys have places you need to be, feel free to wander off. I went over as I always do. It's just hard with this stuff. You get into the timeless zone and then it's hard to just like break it. But I'm sorry if I cut you, if I kept you from somewhere. Feel free to chat with me for a bit as well. Unmute yourselves. Stop recording. Yeah, and if you got